So Liverpool lost the Carabao Cup Final today. And now, before I get into Liverpool and some of the criticism that I have for them, I do, first of all, just want to give congratulations to Newcastle and Newcastle supporters. I believe this is the first domestic cup that they've won in like 70 years or something outrageous like that. Good for them. Fantastic and well-deserved too. Coming from a Liverpool fan, you were the better team today and you deserve to win. Congratulations. Going on to Liverpool, I have a lot of criticism for our players and even the manager. Number one, I don't want to hear anyone say comparing Arne Slot to Jurgen Klopp. That's ridiculous. And I don't want to be too critical on Arne Slot because we're probably going to win a Premier League this season. And if you were to ask me at the beginning of the season, do we have any chance of winning the Prem, I would have said slim to none. And then on top of that, I think if I could have picked one trophy for us to win this season, it would have been a Premier League because I haven't seen us win that many. But at the end of the day, while the expectation at the beginning of the season was to not win any trophies, it would have just been to compete, we put ourselves in a position to where we were competing in the Champions League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and the Premier League. Now, the FA Cup, we got knocked out by Plymouth. We put a bunch of young guys on and it didn't work out. Fine, I'm cool with it. The Champions League, we got outplayed and outclassed by PSG. And the Carabao Cup Final, we got outplayed and outclassed by Newcastle. And the issue I have with the Carabao Cup Final that we've just lost is the fact that he started almost the same exact starting 11 that he did on Wednesday in the Champions League. A game that went to extra time with some of those players going upwards of 120 minutes playing. And then you're going to start them in the Carabao Cup Final? I think that's just ludicrous, number one. Number two, my biggest issue with the starting 11 in the Champions League was there was no goal threat, right? Like, we were not creating enough opportunities in the Champions League round of 16, and then we put that same front three against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup Final. No disrespect to Newcastle. Maybe there was an idea from Slot that, well, PSG are better than Newcastle. I would expect these guys to be able to get over the line against Newcastle. But I think we haven't been playing well. We haven't been the better team in these games. And we have a few players that we have to look at in this Liverpool team and actually evaluate. I've seen people say that Luis Diaz is as good as Sadio Mane in the past. I've heard them say that. You need to be checked into a mental institution. Luis Diaz is a good player, but he does not offer enough in front of goal and create enough opportunities. And he's kind of going through a little bit of a dodgy run of form. The thing is, I've heard many people criticize Mo Salah because his technical ability isn't the greatest in the world, but the guy's output is unbelievable, and that's what wins football matches. Okay? Jota looks terrible. Darwin Núñez, I don't even know what to do with at this point. I've made so many videos on what's going on with that guy. I think we should just sell him at the end of the season because Lord knows how we're going to get the best of him, okay? We need to reinvest a lot of money into a front three. I think we bring on Federico Chiesa, and he actually has some involvement and creates a goal. I've been unimpressed with Chiesa so far since signing with Liverpool, but I haven't been impressed recently with the players who have been playing up top. Why didn't we play him against Southampton? The load management that Arne Slot had with these players leading up to this final was ridiculous. It was just, you overloaded your best team and your starters. When, if Jurgen Klopp, the reason I said you can't compare him to Klopp used to filter players in so much more. Now, I get it. If you're a Virgil van Dijk, you're going to have to play all the time. If you're even Konate, Robertson, those players, you're going to have to play all the time. But the front three, there should be a little bit more rotation because they're not producing enough. I've seen a lot of people online being critical of Mohamed Salah. It's Ramadan, so I'm going to cut Salah a lot of slack. Also, Salah actually has proved to show up in big moments when these other players, I mean, like, when has Luis Diaz ever showed up in a big game for us? Like, Like, I'm sure someone will comment and tell me, oh, he scored X goal, but it's like comparatively to Salah or Mane or Firmino. Like, you could even say, like, Darwin Núñez has showed up in, like, big games and scored big goals. Luis Diaz is not a big game player. Luis Diaz is a solid player, and I'm sorry, if we get a good bid on him in the summer transfer window, we should entertain it. And we should look to replace a lot of those players in the front three. We have an overload of them, and they're not good enough. The midfield's the midfield. McAllister's class. Szoboszlai can be a little rocky sometimes, but he's class. Gravenberch is class, and Curtis Jones is okay. I think a lot of us being eliminated from the two competitions this week has to come down on Arne Slot. While I like him, and I think he's done a good job, we can't take that away from him, we do need to criticize him just a little bit. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. What did you feel about the team that was placed in the Carabao Cup Final? Slot's involvement in that, some players that might need to go, might need to stay. Let me know all down below in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell as well so you know every time I make a new video. Thank you all so much for the support. I'm on my way to 1,000 subscribers, so any support I really, really appreciate. See you guys in the next one. Peace.